Hi, welcome back to episode 4 of my road to getting to 1100 chess rating. And I think today it's gonna be a shorter episode, and I'm gonna have a look at one of the daily games I played. Because it was a daily game, I had a lot more time to think about the different moves. But then when I looked at the game review afterwards, I was quite surprised by some moves where I thought, wow, this is gonna be winning or definitely checkmate, and it turned out actually it wasn't that strong after all. And yeah, and also the position looks weird like this because we started the daily game, but then later on, unfortunately, I was out and about. I couldn't do my move, so then I set up the game invitation like this so we could continue playing the game. But yeah, this is why I don't have the game from the beginning. Okay, and here it's black to move for my opponent. That's me, obviously. And yeah, for me as someone who's better at chess, it's probably clear, but for me as a chess beginner, I would have thought, well, no, in most cases I should try to develop my pieces. Like for his bishop, light squared bishop, he can only move here, but even then, wouldn't that be better than just developing the queen? So that's quite interesting for me, but let's look at the other moves. So just developing the bishop, which is something I would have probably done. It's okay, it's playable, but yeah, better raiding or moving your rook. But the two queen moves definitely seem, yeah, 0.3 better rating. And I'm not sure why, so maybe just have a look how that games would develop later on. So oftentimes for an analysis, if you don't really get why the computer rates something highly, then yeah, I watched the video and yeah, Chessmaster just recommended, well, if you don't understand it, just continue playing the game with like the best moves you can come up with, and then later on it probably, gets revealed why that is the case. But of course, if the rating difference is not that high and the game is still in its early phases and it can take like a lot of moves for like a certain advantage to show up, then it's definitely can be harder to understand. Yeah, when I thought about this, for me, I would have naturally moved the queen here just to, make some space, more space. And also, yeah, this attacking the dark squared bishop here. Um, of course it's defendable, but I guess I would have to spend a move to put it somewhere else. Yeah. If I had moved the queen, I probably would have done this. So what would be the appropriate response? Okay, then I can just go with my queen to defend. So the queen is not actually doing anything here anymore, so he would just go back. Okay. Hmm. And the other moves, how would that continue? For me, just developing further, he taking the middle space, then in the game, I think this is something I haven't seen, but this is, yeah, scary for me that he could double fork me, so I would just move back. Um, okay. I'm not quite sure why that queen move is recommended, but if he goes here, then he can attack here, but it's not doing that much actually. And from this position on, maybe he can develop, support this pawn better in the case I would try to attack like this, for example. I'm not sure. Okay, not sure. Yeah, I mean, in general, like, I think, yeah, even for the best human players, it's not always, um, yeah, what the chess computer recommends. not always possible to understand, and yeah, especially for me, someone who still has to learn a lot, it can be quite hard sometimes. So of course, getting a chess coach would be really nice to have a human explain some moves to you, but yeah, maybe some of you guys also can put your ideas in the comments. Yeah, so in this situation, he developed his queen, which is the right move, apparently, and yeah, after that I was thinking, okay, just developing, like, castling, normal recommended move. Yeah, okay. So in this situation, he moves here because I think maybe he's thinking attacking this pawn, and if I don't do anything, he can increase the pressure. Mm. And the recommended move is just to go here and take over the center. But the move he chooses is also not that bad. And then I was surprised that here the recommendation is just to get the pawn, or get the knight and double up his pawns. Because after all, it's a knight, it's a bishop against a knight. But the double pawn, well, I'm not sure if it would be recommended if he didn't castle, but because he did castle, having this open, it's probably good. So I didn't see that, but even if I thought about it, I would have probably chosen not to do it, because I think, well, I don't know how the game will develop, but surely we will, if I do everything right, we can move to the end game, and then the bishop pair, in theory is also like supposed to be +1. So interesting that the engine recommends that here, and something I can definitely keep in mind for next time. Yeah, I take, and then later on, does this turn into a problem for him? I don't see it for now. But okay. I didn't do that, or did I do instead? I think I just developed my rook, right? Ah, no. Okay. I moved my bishop. Is that okay? I mean, it's a little worse, but not that much in accuracy. But why though? Yeah. I mean, I guess from here, my knight doesn't really have any useful places to go. Um, okay, but it's the second move in that position that would have been recommended. Ah, and I would have been able to go here afterward. Okay. Yeah, he takes the space. And here, something I don't think I have seen. Oh, I saw that he can take here. If I move, he takes back. And then I'm have the problem of still. Yeah, okay, I move here. He takes back, and I guess then I can just take with my knight, right? Oh, I actually saw that. Okay. And he took. And I can just take back, and yeah, we exchange. Oh. And so for him, he was supposed to move here. Can't take here, so I suppose for him to continue pushing or not taking that, yeah, it allows him to just squeeze me into my uncomfortable position even more. But luckily for me, he went for the exchange. So we exchange, not too complicated there. Yeah, it's an opportunity for him to pin me. But okay, I would have thought that I would, in this case, just attack back, but okay, it's an option. Yeah, human move, I would have probably done that, but if I move here, but then he can do the same that was recommended to me here too. Ah, but it's guarded by that bishop, okay. Okay, we exchange. Then he attacks. Yeah, takes more space, but luckily, I thought, well, if I had to go back here, then yeah. Oh, okay. But I think I would lose the pawn. No, okay. Yeah, that's lucky for me that by moving that pawn, it gives me the opportunity to check him and get out of that situation. So he attacks. Yes, that is actually the only good move for me. Second one, I could have also just exchanged. I mean, later on in the game, I thought about maybe taking this knight and trying to isolate his pawn, but as long as his queen is there, that's... Yeah, he just... Oh. I thought he would just take back with his queen, right? But apparently he doesn't. For him, it's still recommended to take back with the pawn. But also let's see how that changes by looking if it changes with more depth in the evaluation. Interesting, interesting. I would have thought that this would have been a weakness for him, but on the other hand, maybe it makes it easier for him to later develop his other pieces. Not sure. Yeah, I can check him. So now something I was like thinking, oh, okay, if he goes here, then I will have to maneuver my knight around. And by going here, I think I free up this diagonal to put pressure on that pawn, which seems to be right. Okay, I could have also tried to defend that with this pawn or move my knight, but I found the right move. Yeah, I'm also lucky that he didn't play that, attacking my bishop here. If he had done, then I would have just moved back. Okay. But he didn't play that. He brought in his queen. Yeah, now I can bring in my queen because this would threaten checkmate, so he has to react to that. And luckily, like something I didn't plan, but because of the way he moved, and I got lucky opening up this file here for my light squared bishop. If he wasn't here, then there's still some way maybe for him to get out, but yeah, later on this bishop will be important. Okay, and here I guess I have made a mistake. If I thought, well, if I move here with my queen, can't he just defend like this? And even if I move here, then he would just take, right? But if he just took, I can still just move back and it would be checkmate, right? So I could have just brought in the queen, but... So let's figure out. I thought, well, I go in here. And he can't take back with his king, because otherwise I go here with my queen, and that would be checkmate. It's also something I maybe slightly hoped he might consider doing. But apparently it's a mistake. And also for him, he saw that he can't take, so he brought in his bishop instead. But why is that bad? Because he can move his rook. So once I bring in my queen, he can just try to go here, right? I guess if he, I don't know, just didn't move, then yeah, it's checkmate. Okay. But he can bring his pawn. I take it, and okay, so he moves out the pawn so he can take the knight. And yeah, big checking situation going on. Okay, but like this he can defend the attack. But why is it necessary for him to bring out the rook? Maybe if he doesn't bring out the rook, I still go here, and then can't he just do the same? I take. He takes back. Oh. Okay. Wait. So if I go here, he moves his pawn to. He does, yeah, to open up for his queen to attack my knight. Then I move here with my queen, and if he doesn't move the rook here, then this bishop is falling later on once the queen moves here. Makes sense, okay. Think I got it. So he moves there. And it's not recommended for my queen to go in. But still, like, I think human move to apply pressure would be to go in. He defends. Yeah, and the situation gets dissolved. So because of this rook move, that was actually not recommended to directly go in with the knight. But if I move in with my queen first, he doesn't have time to move his rook. But okay, he defends this pawn. So what am I actually doing? Okay, then this is what I thought would happen if I just go here with my queen. He can just defend, right? So if he had found that move, that would have been worse, but I guess in human play it puts on a lot of pressure. I go in, he defends like that, and yeah. I can maybe try to do something here. But he can just offer the exchange, right? Okay. So computer analysis wise, oh, and also slowly you're able to hear the computer, so maybe turn that down a little bit. I'm not sure if you can hear it actually. Okay, but still, like, for playing lower level, bringing in the queen immediate, like going like, yeah, getting that pawn there, maybe not bad. I go in, and here it gets interesting. How should he defend? I think he brought in his queen. Okay, like this. Maybe even offering up a trade. But if I just take here for trading, I guess he takes here or there. Because of the knight, I think he would prefer taking with the rook, right? I take. If he takes with the bishop, I take his rook. He takes my bishop, and I can try to get away with my um with my knight, right? So he should take with the rook. Let's see how that would go. Yeah, he takes. No, wait. Oh, really? Takes with the bishop or with the rook. Okay. But if he takes with the bishop, I take his rook. He takes me back. And I thought I can just escape by checking him. Move here on later. And if he tries... Oh, then this one falls. Okay. So he brings his rook in to defend. But yeah, he can go for my knight. And he shouldn't. He can attack it even further. And okay. But still, it's an advantage for me. So I guess I can bring my knight to safety, but he can develop his pawns while my knight is just trying to escape. So, but it's still recommended for me to take because I get the rook. Wait. I take and if he takes with his rook, so I can't take his rook, he goes here and I defend his rook. Oh. In that case, we exchange. Ah, and he can't take back, so he loses. Okay, and that's why he takes with the bishop, even though he loses the rook. But that's... he comes in here. Yeah, and I can take and dissolve the situation and with either option still come out ahead for the endgame. But yeah, then I thought, well, I can just keep on the pressure here, and I was thinking of going here or going here and calculated some moves for that as well. And what was I thinking for that? I was actually thinking if I go here with my queen later on, if he wants to attack my bishop, then I have that covered. And for here, I thought, well, if he moves like the pawn like that later on, maybe, I can double up here and support my bishop with my queen. Because for going back here, yeah, the only way I think for him to defend, I thought, was moving his queen here. So then I can move my knight here and actually, yeah, attack this bishop over there. Getting this diagonally, and I calculated some moves. Oh, he might have to offer up his rook, but let's see if that's actually true. And for this field, I thought, well, I don't know, I have more space here, but actually later on, maybe what's more important is try to get this to attack his king. So even if my attack fails, I thought, maybe I could still, if I miscalculated something, still try to maybe get out a draw with repetition. But at the end of the day, both moves are good, but I'm not sure if there's a big difference between the two. I think later on what I did was go back. Ah, wait. Okay, I thought if I go here, it's check. He has to move here, and then I can just pin his queen with the king being there, right? He has to take, I take, and then then I have his queen, so I can just play for a safe endgame, right? Uh, or if he wants to avoid that, he brings his queen and yeah, tries to defend here and trade, right? He goes here. Isn't that... Oh, okay, I get it. So he moves that pawn, so he attacks my queen. So I can't... Yeah, wow, okay. And maybe this is the reason why going back here is not that good. So I go back here. And because of, well, this again would be checkmate, so he has to move here. But then I don't have the check anymore. And he goes there. Because this would still would threaten checkmate because the screen is there. And I just take his queen. Okay. Situation offering up the queen trade. If I go here, then he can't bring this. He can... Okay. If I take with my queen, he maybe just brings in his rook or his queen, right? I just take... Oh, okay. Okay. But I have this cover check and still take his queen. Right. Oh, I check again. He takes... I take... Okay. Yeah, I could also maybe just take a normal human player would probably just take his queen. But okay. So if I move my queen here, yeah, this is what I thought probably he would do just to defend, right? And it's also, yeah, he brings in his queen here. I feel like also very human move. And once I bring my knight here, he can just go and defend, right? He goes in, we exchange. I take this, he takes that, so that's why I shouldn't bring my knight here. But if I go here, he defends, I take, he takes, and I get his bishop, right? Or he would attack like this. Still winning situation for me. Goes here, I go there. Let's see if... Is it really just better taking the rook? Because I attack his queen at the same time. So you can't just take here. And, oh, he has to move there. Take. What would happen after that? He has to defend. I take, he takes, and... Okay, like this I get the rook and the bishop. Okay. So anyway, so going back here, his best way to defend is bring the pawn. I thought, yeah, human move would be just move here or there. If he goes here with his king, can, yeah, still threaten checkmate. He makes some space. I go in, he moves. Oh, and I can still take his queen with this intermediate move. Okay. Well, I could just take it anyway. But if I, yeah, what I also did, moving my queen here, he can attack my queen and win like a tempo through that. Okay, but I didn't accept the trade, even though the position is already winning. I think that's the move I found, and in this situation, I think he just took and it's checkmate, right? Okay, and if he can't even bring his queen here, then I just take and nothing really changes for the checkmate because I still cover this queen, so just should try to make some space. And still yeah, and then I take his queen. He takes, I check him, he goes here. I take more, he can't take back, he defends. So uncomfortable situation for him, and I also have the material advantage. So let's recap again what I can take away from this game. Yeah, castling was okay, just opening principle wise. Yeah, something I didn't think about. I can just take his knight and double up his pawns here. Maybe something I should have considered doing. Then, yeah, when I brought my knight here, I actually wasn't really thinking about this situation, that it could turn into a problem. I mean, I saw it when he played the move, but in the future, maybe I should think about, like, I'm not sure for bringing back the bishop here. I mean, it puts some pressure here, but maybe I think I was thinking I had the bishop here for the game. He brought the rook, like the pawn here. And then I thought, well, where can I bring it? I can either bring it here or here. And I choose here because it, well, on the one hand, it restricts the movement of the pawn here. But on the other hand, I thought, well, I have this diagonally here. But it was recommended to go here, and I wondered why, because here it's not actually doing anything. But, well, now thinking about this situation, that makes sense. Okay, should have thought about that. I was lucky that he took, that he opened up his king for me. Also, he doesn't have a good way to get rid of my bishop here. Yeah, attacking was the right situation, like right decision. Also, I should have just brought in the queen. Yeah, for this I'm not sure. On the one hand, computer analysis says it's, yeah, it's a mistake. On the other hand, for human play on my level, I think it's maybe the right, yeah, it still makes more sense for me to play like that. But yeah, this is way of defending I didn't think about before. It's not actually about saving his rook that much, but yeah, securing this later on. And then later, how can he defend? Try to cover this important square, and I take the knight by just moving that pawn. I go in. Well, in this situation, it seemed complicated, but even though I was thinking a long time, well, which makes more sense, still both options are good. I could have also went for the trade, but I think in this situation it was right for me to keep on the pressure. And for the decision for moving one of these squares, yeah, I think now I understand why like this defensive move is better than this one. So now I get it why that is better, but even still both moves are winning. Yeah. And I think, yeah, it was nice to have this as a daily game because in a normal game, I don't think I would have had nearly enough time to think about this position and really, learn everything from that or learn as much from this position as I did now. I mean, of course, I didn't learn. I think there's more to learn about this position, but yeah, also don't want to make this video too long. Not sure how long it is already going. So, a shorter episode for now. Maybe not as interesting as playing a live game, but still, I think some good insights. And also for me, trying to reach that rating of 1100. Of course, there will be, live games and having some interesting games and clutches, but also part of improving is sometimes, just doing the boring stuff, analyzing like a daily game for some time. So, yeah, sometimes you also have to do the stuff that is not the most flashy and interesting to actually get better and improve at the end. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you have some thoughts of your own about this game and why you think certain moves were good or bad. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. And here should be another video that might interest you. Peace out.